Welcome to Webcertain TV. I'm Gemma Houghton. Today I'm here with Izzi Smith, who's an SEO Manager at Sixt, and we're going to be talking about featured snippets and how to make the most of them. Hi Izzi, thanks for being here.
Hello, thank you, it's a pleasure.
So firstly, featured snippets, why should businesses be thinking about them? Why are they so important for SEO?
Featured snippets, in a way, are kind of like a quick win to get to the top of the search results, because when you win one, you jump right to the top of the SERPs above position 1, which is why they're sometimes called position 0. So you can win a lot of clicks this way, get a lot of traffic, but also they're kind of a good trust signal to the user, so they can also help uplift your conversion rate as well, because it's like Google is taking your result to be a good response to someone's question.
Yeah.
And this is a really nice signal as well, so it can help with conversions further down the line. Yeah.
And obviously some queries and some content is more suited to appearing for a featured snippet than others. So where do you start when trying to determine which pages or which type of content you should be focusing on optimizing for this?
So featured snippets don't show up for all keywords, they're actually quite rare. They mostly show up for question type keywords or prepositions, method keywords. So what I usually do is when I'm looking for these types of keywords, I head to Google Analytics to see what kind of question keywords I'm already ranking for.
Yeah.
And in Google Analytics, under Search Console, you can use a regex filter using common question type keywords like why, how, and so on.
Yeah.
You can't do this in Search Console itself, which is why I head to Google Analytics. And then once I've seen what question keywords I'm already ranking for, I then need to double check the search results to see if there is a featured snippet that I can steal, or if there isn't one, I know that there is potential there also. And once you've done that, you can also branch out and use tools like Answer the Public and see what kind of keywords related to your that you can rank for in your domain, that you're not creating content for, and also target them as well.
So you need to look for kind of current opportunities to enhance what you've got, but also areas where you're not ranking and could be.
I think that's quite important in SEO anyway, because there could be a lot of content out there that you can target, that you're the right source of knowledge, but you're not at the moment. So yeah, it can be very important. Yeah.
And one kind of criticism or perhaps concern that some businesses have with this is that, well, if we give people the answer in the search results, then they're not going to come to our site. And obviously our aim is to get people there and to then convert them. So what do you say to that? How can you use featured snippets without them stopping all your traffic?
So you also have to do some kind of filtering in terms of the types of keywords that you target. So don't just go for it just because there is a feature snippet and it's quite beautiful.
Yeah.
You need to see if there is the intent for them to visit your landing page, for them to come onto your website to find out more information. So an example I always give is the feature snippet for how old do I need to be to get a tattoo? The answer is 18, but there is no real need to go on your landing page after that. You know, you've already satisfied their intent. Whereas something like how old do I need to be to rent a car? You've given them the answer in the feature snippet, but there's also the need for them to come onto your landing page, learn more, and hopefully make a booking.
Yeah.
So you sort of have to analyse it that way and assess the intent.
And what about the actual content itself that goes into the snippets? What do you need to be doing differently on your content pages to kind of flag up to the search engines that this could work really well in that position?
So very important, very obvious, you need to answer the question. But in a way that's written for humans and that gives additional explanation on the topic. So the usual sweet spot answer is written in between 40 to 50 words. So like I said, you can just give an age as a number, but there's additional requirements and additional information you can give, maybe why it's like this. And then Google is more likely to take your answer content.
Yeah, so it's about giving a bit more depth and a bit more showing that you have a bit more knowledge on the subject.
Exactly. So you also have to prove to Google that you are the expert on this topic. Why should you be placed as a feature snippet response? Give more additional relevant content as well on the landing page, things that could be useful to the user to read further into, and then also backs up your claims when you're providing this answer.
And obviously, these are coveted spots, and there's only one for every keyword or for every phrase, so it's not that easy. It's quite a competitive space to be in. What is there anything extra you can do, or what can you do to make sure that you're kind of having that edge over your competitors and being the ones to win the snippet?
So there's lots of different ways of optimization that I wouldn't say is generally aside from feature snippet optimization, comes more into good practice as SEO. So what I like to always do is mark up my data with schema.org. I find this generally gives Google a push to understand and find your data. If you don't really have a schema markup that you can target, there are things like a how-to list schema markups, FAQ page, question and answer schema markup. And I've used this and I didn't think anything would happen, but I did see a good increase in informational feature snippets like these question keywords.
So basically use all the functionalities and features that Google or other search engines offer you, because actually if they're there, try and use them, and that would help them to... Of
course, yeah, just giving more understanding to your awesome answer content and everything you have on the landing page, just to maximise your chances. Also things like backlinks to the page, social signals, these can help boost your chances as well.
Yeah, so it's still about ranking ultimately, isn't it? It's Google still like it does with all of its search results, but it's just a slightly different format.
Yeah, yeah.
And then what about if you're doing this on an international scale, as many businesses are, we're targeting different countries and different languages. Have you seen any particular difference in the way that it works in different countries? And
yeah. So in the US, we see the most amount of feature snippets, which of course makes sense.
Yeah.
Google's always testing with the SERP pages. And then the UK behind it. Right now, we're seeing more and more in Germany and in France. Spain's a bit slow, but I see one or two every now and then. It's just generally more consistent in the UK and the US markets. But I'm sure that they'll continue to gradually roll it out. And what we like to do at Sixt when we optimise our featured snippets, once we see something works, we roll it out to all our European domains so that we know that we're ready for this rollout as well.
Yeah, so it's a good thing, test in one market before rather than trying to do everything and then roll out best practice across multiple ones. Yeah. And you say it's kind of also getting ahead of the game, even if there's not many appearing in other markets now. If you do that optimisation now, when they do, you're probably going to be very well positioned to get good results.
Exactly, and I think this works for a lot of like innovative SEO techniques. Just be prepared for what's coming. It's good if you have a German domain or a French domain, you can look to the US and the UK, see what's happening, and then be prepared for it when it does happen. And it is inevitable. Yeah.
And you have seen good results with these featured snippets. Like you mentioned a few examples of how you've seen that you have made some changes that have had a positive impact. What kind of success rate have you seen, and what impact has it had on your business and conversions?
So one of the main case studies I like to give is for our car model keywords. In the UK and the US, our brand awareness is not as high as it is in Germany. We're still like number 5 as top car rental company. So what we did for our car model landing pages, where we rank number 1 most of the time, or number 3, between number 1 and 3, I wanted to test enriching our SERP results, just so that we can get those clicks without the brand awareness. Yeah. So I rolled out schema markup, data tables, really cool content, just so I could try and force a type of feature, a rich snippet. But instead we started seeing feature snippets, which was a really happy accident, I think, really cool. And this drastically increased our traffic. So on our Sixt.com domain, 28% of our landing pages are now generating a featured snippet. And
it's quite a large percentage
of
landing pages on a site where I guess there's quite a few landing pages with different models and locations. Wow.
And it's not only shown a big increase in traffic, but also conversions as well. And we see very similar results for the UK. So just waiting for this to happen for our other domains. Yeah. But I mean, if we're ranking number 1 in Germany, we still have the brand awareness to win those clicks, so it's not so much a big problem.
Yeah, so that's another thing to bear in mind with the international strategies. Where will it have the most impact? Because in some markets, maybe you're doing better than others, and it might give you that boost that you don't otherwise have.
Exactly, yeah.
And how can you track, or is it a case of you just have to go and have a look and see how it's going, or how do you actually track and find out whether you are starting to make traction and be featured in this position?
So when I started hunting for these feature snippets and rich snippets, there was so much manual work involved of manually Googling to see what was going on the SERPs. But right now I'm using different tools. So the main one I use is AWR Cloud. So you enter in the keywords that you're hunting a feature snippet for, and then you can filter to see which are generating different SERP features. So I think they call it one box. And what you can do then in the tool is just click on the SERPs, and it just takes you immediately to show you a snapshot of what's going on there. And then I just sort of like make a tick in my giant Excel sheet of you know, which one are generating them. Yeah. Sixt is also doing this, but without the SERPs view. And it also shows you feature snippets that your competitors might be ranking for, which is good that you can go out and steal them and get good inspiration as well. SEMrush is also doing this, and Mars as well.
Yeah, so the fact that all the tools are offering it as well suggests that
it
they know
is
that
pretty
it's important.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. So do you have any final tips or any one big tip that you would give for businesses thinking, right, we need to do more to get in these snippets? In terms of, you know, targeting these feature snippets, maybe it does sound like a lot of time, but it can be really lucrative for you and your SEO strategies. And I think just be patient. It takes sometimes months to see really big changes or to see feature snippets being generated. So don't give up after 1 week of optimization. Yeah,
and
it's the long game,
exactly.
like SEO always is.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, it was really interesting to talk to you. Thank you for sharing your insights.
Thank you. Thank you.